you ready to make technology work for you? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast where we break down the latest tech trends and show you how to boost your productivity at home and in your business. So, subscribe to Act on Tech today and visit alexcustomtech.com to see how we can take your business to the next level. That's Act on Tech, your guide to smarter tech for a smarter business. Alex Custom Tech, IT means integrity and trust.
Hi, welcome to Act on Tech, where we talk all things technology. Hi, my name is Alex of Alex Custom Tech, and today we're going to talk about something that a lot of small businesses don't realize. Your entire IT setup, your network, your files, your system might be one problem away from going down completely. In the business, we call this point of failure, and the solution is to not have one point of failure, have multiple point of failure, and I'm going to explain to you how that works. So I'm not going to title this point of failure because that's a inside IT terminology. I'm going to title this something else, but we're going to be talking about point of failure and why having an MSP is important. So in marketing, they talk about and this is what one of the things that they do. They talk about pain points for the potential clients. So you gotta point out their pain points, and that will kind of motivate people to buy into your service or product that you're selling. I don't like that, because to me that's using fear to get people to buy in, and that's emotional. And I don't believe that most people might make decisions based off of emotions. That's wrong. People should make decisions based off facts. So if I tell you that having a single point of failure in your business is a problem, that's information, that's facts, and you can then decide to yourself, okay, am I willing to live with that risk? Because so far everything is fine. I'm going to be down maybe for a day or two, and I can come back how much that's going to cost me. Or you're going to say, oh my goodness, I'm going to have one router, let me go out and I'm going to buy a router. That's not the response I want my clients or potential clients to make. I want them to hear what I'm saying, then think about the pros and cons of it, or what I would normally say is it's a price you're willing to pay, and you're okay with paying that price, because everything is a trade-off. That's my stance. Like, make a decision based on the trade-off, not based on fear and emotions. Trade-off, then you'll be fine. Then I'll be fine, because then I don't think I'm manipulating anybody. Now, we still have to talk about the single point of failure. So let's get into it more, since I get that out the way, because I'm not a salesperson and I don't really believe in sales as it is. I just believe in giving information, and you make your own decision because you're smart enough to do so, right? So not slowly, not partially, I'm talking full stop, complete shutdown because of the one point of failure. So how should we address this? So we'll break it up into segments or sections, right? So first one we'll talk about is, what does one problem away means, or one problem away from failure means, right? What does it mean, right? So when we say a business is one problem away from failure, I mean there is a single point, here it is, in your system that if it breaks, or when it breaks, everything stops. So we talk about routers in the last couple of podcasts, and I talk about the ban they have on routers right now, and I kind of broke that down for you. And I talk about routers, and I say, routers, firewall, same thing, and we talk about that. So that's kind of an example of a single point of failure. So the reason why I'm pro prosumer routers, shielding, is because with prosumer routers, you can connect more than one internet provider, or what you would call ISP. You can connect more than one to that router, and into a prosumer router, and then so in case one internet goes down, you have the other one. It's a failover, right? So routers as an example, and the kind of routers as an example. So one router handling everything is a single point of failure. One PC acting as your server. This is, I've come across this too. Like you have like 5 PCs in an office setting, and one PC have all the files on it, and everybody share that file. Or one the PC is what's sharing the printer, because the printer is connected to that PC, and then the printer is shared from that PC. I've seen that. And if the computer goes down, everything goes down. So one PC acting as your server, one internet connection with no backup ISP. And we have one ISP. One copy of your data. This is a problem, like you have one copy of a file. And if you lose that file, you're down. And in that way, things fall apart. Or if that anything happens, everything stops, because you have the one access to one thing, or you have the one router or the one computer that's doing the work. So, kind of give you an idea. So, no access to the file, that's a problem. No access to no internet, you go down. No phones, you go down. No ability to work, right? So, if one of those things happen, everything stops, and you have to try to bring somebody in short notice to get that stuff going again. And how long it's going to cost you, how much money it's going to cost you. Every business is different. Can you live with it? Can't live with it? That's what I'm talking about. So that's how I'm presenting it in that way. So you have to look at the trade-off, right? And then see if it's worth it. Now, segment 2 or section 2 or the other part of it. So why this happens to small business? Put it like that. Why this happens in small businesses? Well, sometimes it's cost concern. Instead of paying for 2 different ISP, you pay for one, and you pay for one ISP, and you have one bill, right? But again, if you really, really rely on internet being up and it's really crucial to you, should you be paying for one ISP, right? So, it works. You have one ISP, enough work, but then pay for it. So that's why you do it. Another thing why people do this sometimes too is because they set it up and it works, so you leave it alone. Mentally, it's mentally peaceful to think that whatever your cousin set up or whatever you did initially is working fine, so why worry about it? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And another thing sometimes is no long-term design. So you design it one way and you're growing, but you didn't upgrade to it. That's kind of a part of the problem too. So so most setups grow over time, but you didn't plan. So there you go. So what ends up happening really at the end of the day is like something that works in the past don't work anymore or instantly fall apart. So segment 3, right? Or section 3, the real world example. So real world example. I like using real world examples because I don't want people to think that I'm just like, again, I don't want this to be a salesperson pinpoint situation, right? So for example, we talked about this earlier. You have one router fails. Your entire business depends on a single router from your ISP. What happens when the router fails? Right? No internet, no VoIP, your phones are connected to the router too. No cloud access to your stuff, so your entire business goes down. Right? Another example, you have one PC as a file server, right? One PC setup. A lot of businesses have this one main computer, like I told you. And if it goes down, what happens? Crashes. Say the PC get a ransomware. That's the worst thing. You get a ransomware, you have nowhere to go. You want to pay the ransom, right? Or what? Set of the drive fail. If the drive fail and you wasn't backing it up, everything is gone. So that's one. Or so somebody forgot to power it out, the PC is locked out. What happens then, right? Example 3, you have no backup internet, right? So you only have one ISP, right? You rely on one ISP. Internet outage. What happens to to your stuff? What happens to you to all the things you're doing, right? It happen more often than you really think. I've seen it happen to businesses before. I've seen it happen to clients before, right? So segment 4, the hidden risk, false confidence, right? This is the part that's really gets people thinking. So everything feels stable because everything is working, all right, until it doesn't. So everything works fine, and then one day it stops and you're making phone calls freaking out. It was working yesterday, because you only have 1 point of failure. You only have 1 point. That's why. And these are, I mean, like I just told you about the example in my house. I have one ISP and one internet provider, and the router went. And the router is old. It's a pretty old router, like I said, but it wasn't a router, it's a modem, and it went. And that's the single point of failure. So once that went down, I had to run to Best Buy and pick up a new one. How lucky it was over the weekend. My wife works from home, so she needs the internet. So that's a mission critical hardware. And if it was during the week, she would be out of work for that period of time. But if I'm not home and it went down, she have to wait until I come home. So again, real world scenario. So that creates, so because it's working all along, people might think I've created confidence that it is, but then when it goes down, they freak out. And because the design, you didn't design it to account for the failure, right? I didn't have a router put down in the house, so in case somebody could swap it out real quick. Or I never have multiple internet connection, so if that one went down, it'll kick in the other one, right? Next section 5, right? What is the resilient setup look like, or what does a failover system look like, or what does having multiple point of failure look like? I'll just throw those things out at you, right? Well, here's what it looks like. Here's a flip. Let's flip it, right? Proper small business setup doesn't eliminate problems. It's impossible, right? I don't believe that you can, but I believe it can create a better ratio of the pros and cons, right? So redundancy, you want to have redundancy. You want to back up internet, failover router, multiple access points. Now not have one access point because you have a small office, have multiple, right? You want to have backups, have some kind of backup system, right? Not just having backups, but test the backups too. We'll talk about that. I talked about that in other podcasts before, right? Segment your network. We'll talk about the VPNs and the not VPNs access out of the network. I talk about the VLANs. You want to separate your guest network from your main office network, and you want to separate your IoT devices. You want to separate that stuff, right? And you don't want to rely on consumer gear or for your business. You want to rely on, you want to get an MSP to bring stuff in or get prosumer stuff, right? And you want to monitor this stuff. You want to monitor your network to see what's going on in it. Don't close your eyes on this guess. You want to monitor it. You want to check your packets. You want to have something so you can know if anything nefarious is going on, if there's any drops or any drop packets or some ports or just everything. You just want to make sure you know what's going on, right? And last but not least is the reason, the real question you gotta ask yourself is, so if one device fails, right, what happens to my business? And this is kind of where I come back to where I was talking about, where I don't believe that there's a solution and I believe that there's trade-offs. So if your business can work with the 1 point of failure, so you think to yourself and you say, well, I don't really need 2 ISP, right? Because I'll just wait till it comes back up, right? That's the kind of business you have. That's fine. You can say it's better for you to have the 1 ISP instead of paying for 2 ISP for that, right? But if your business rely on internet to be constantly on, you want to get 2 ISP because you don't want to ever have a situation where you're down. And listen, it's not hard to do the 2 ISP thing, believe it or not. I know sometimes internet providers have like a monopoly particular area, but we have Starlink now, right? So you can have you have cell phone providers too. So you can have your hardwired internet, and then you got a Starlink on your building. And if the hardware will go down, Starlink will kick in, and it's a temporary thing until they figure out what's going on with with your hardwired internet ISP. So none of this stuff is impossible. It's just a way to think about it, right? But you have to have the answer to those questions, like how much pain is this going to cause me, or what is it going to cause me if this is? I don't want to use the word pain because again, it's not pain for everybody. You have to evaluate that for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying here and say, "Oh, I gotta go run out and get another ISP right now." No, you have to evaluate that if that's right for you in your situation. Like I again, my wife works from home. I did the calculation. I don't need to have 2 internet providers here. It would be nice to have an extra modem here, but I don't need 2 internet providers for my house. There's no need for that because even if she goes down, she's not only working in her department. They can handle the work until she gets back online. She can afford to lose a day or whatever because she works with someone. There's other people all over the world working from their home that can service their clients. So that's what I'm saying. It's different depending on your circumstances. But you have to make that call for yourself. So in a roundabout way, most business IT setup don't fail because of complete attack or advanced problems. Most of them fail because of the one point of failure. Right? That's a sad thing. Sometimes it's that simple, right? And it's a simple fix, right? And they're never designed to grow. They're never designed to avoid the failure or to anticipate it or to have any redundancy, right? If you take away anything from this episode, just take away that. Only take away that, because again, like you have your own business and you want to just focus on what you're doing for your customers or your clients or whatever, right? You really don't want to worry about IT, right? But if you are the person doing this too, think about the redundancy. Think about the single point of failure, or if you can deal with that if that happens, right? If you can survive that, if that's a trade-off that you can deal with, fine. But if it's not, you need to get somebody like myself in Alex Custom Tech or another MSP in there to overlook the situation, to make sure that you have redundancy and multiple point of failure so that you never go down, or the likelihood of you going down is very unlikely, right? Or if you do go down, you come back up really quickly. These are the situations that MSP would help you with. Just something to think about, right? So don't wait for something to break. Find out how important it was or is, right? And do that. Like I always say, stay productive, right? If you need help with anything, of course, you can reach out to me. Go to Alex Custom Tech, check out what we got over there, fill out that form that's on there, and then I'll get back to you, right? Like I always say, stay productive.
Alex Hutchinson is the founder of Alex Custom Tech and the voice behind the Act on Tech podcast. With years of hands-on experience in technology, Alex has built a reputation for making tech simple, reliable, and practical for both small businesses and families. At Alex Custom Tech, the focus is on solutions that actually work, from secure business networking and Wi-Fi systems to VoIP phone setups, smart cameras, and complete backup strategies. Alex believes technology should empower people, not frustrate them, and his company was built on the principle that IT means integrity and trust. Clients count on Alex Custom Tech for everything, from computer repair and upgrades to designing entire business networks to protecting data against modern security threats. Whether it's a one-time project or ongoing support, Alex and his team pride themselves on being approachable, dependable, and committed to helping people stay productive. To learn more about Alex Custom Tech, visit alexcustomtech.com, email info@alexcustomtech.com, or call 8556-686-315. Looking for tech that just works and someone who keeps it real? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast that breaks down everyday technology in plain English. No jargon, no hype, just tools, tips, and insights to help you stay productive, stay efficient, and keep acting on tech. Need gear you can count on? Visit the Alex Recommends page at alexcustomtech.com. It's full of trusted products, from smart cameras to mini PCs, handpicked and tested by Alex himself. And when it's time to get serious about your setup, Alex Custom Tech is here to help. From small business networks to smart home installs, we've got your back. So remember, listen to Act on Tech, shop smart with Alex Recommends, and get support from Alex Custom Tech. Stay productive, stay efficient, and keep acting on tech.
Hey there, Jersey and Eastern PA businesses, ready to take your IT game to the next level? Get excited because Alex Custom Tech is coming your way. We're your go-to for IT support, bringing integrity and trust to every service. From network upgrades to virtualization and even relocating your IT setup, we've got you covered. Stay tuned as we put the finishing touches on our new site. Alex Custom Tech, helping your business thrive with top-notch IT support right in your backyard.
Welcome to Alex Custom Tech, your trusted partner for computer service and repair since 2010. We provide professional consulting services to clients throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania, offering everything from computer repair to network design and installation. Our focus is on building efficient, results-driven professional relationships with our clients. We work with you to create customized solutions that fit your specific needs, whether you're an individual or an organization. Our comprehensive IT consulting services are designed to make your technology work more effectively for you. We provide solutions that meet your business's performance and utilization demands. Because we understand that when your technology doesn't work, neither do you. We specialize in network design and implementation, taking the pain out of network creation, maintenance, and repair. Our team understands that even minimal downtime can impact your productivity and revenue. That's why we offer 24/7 proactive monitoring and maintenance to strategically optimize and protect your infrastructure. For residential and business clients, we provide affordable and reliable computer repair services, available both on-site and at our location. Our commitment to quality is reflected in our satisfied customers' experiences. We service New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Alex Custom Tech is ready to serve your IT needs. Contact us today at 855-668-6315 or email info@alexcustomtech.com to discover how Alex Custom Tech can help optimize your technology solutions.